Hi everyone, it is Sudipta. Thank you dear Prasanna sir for inviting me here, and I extend my thanks to the elegant team of Fertile Brains. They are doing great job, really, for inviting writers like us. It will be a really an elegant date with everyone. I scribble poems since a long days. At a very young age, I have somehow written more than 200 poems. To my credit, I am a co-author of more than 200 books. My third book, Songs of My Heart, is ready to reach the pinnacle of glory due to its lucid subject matter. I need to answer the reason behind my writings first. I always crave to touch each and every aspect of our essence. But being a feminist writer, I long to raise my voice against the patriarchal mindset of the society in which a woman is treated as a commodity. Next to that, I usually write poems that glorify the beauty of nature. I crave to rejoice in the natural ambience of the Almighty in which He has placed me. Basically, my broader topic is to celebrate the miracles and the magic of nature, like the silky sky that encapsulates the bright moon with twinkling stars. From my childhood, I watched them with awe and admiration. Next to that, often I long for the lost memories with my cherished one, my loved one. In that utter sheer pain, I do scribble poems. I have also tossed topic like war, violence, peace, and the boiling societal issues through my poems. And actually, it is my third book, Songs of My Heart. As a co-author, I have written so many books, but as a solo author, it is only my third book. Basically, I am an article writer. I always write essays, articles, even non-fiction, fiction, everything. I always write also poems also. And it is a collection of poems, this book. Let me read some of poems from these books. First, let me say few words about this book, which is a bunch of soulful poems. This book sings the saga of melodious songs of my soul. The poem of this book revolve around the radiance of the sun, the shadows of my dreams, the smiling waves of the sea. I actually owe my heartfelt tribute to Almighty to inspire me to create such a timeless saga of my emotive feelings in a single volume. All the poems here explore the beauty of nature around us. Most of the poems I have dedicated to the creator of the universe, and I have almost webbed them in a tranquil ambience. These poems recapture the magnificent grace of the nature elegantly. The misery of a melancholic soul like me is vividly painted in all of my poems. Last but not least, my poems celebrate the glory of God and purity of love and compassion for the entire humanity. Let me read then some of my poems to amuse you all. Let me read one of my poems, that is Atonement. O Lord, forgive me for my unpardonable sin. Thy forgiveness will console my disgruntled soul. No words can justify atonement for my devilish act. Pardon me my crimes against humanity. I crave for atonement to pacify my rude mind. Never I bow my arrogant body and ruthless soul near you. I trade on with rebellious views. Now I earn to sublimate my wild actions. O God, please forgive my immature reasons, for I am your one and only Son. In your divine being, I need to surrender and resign. I strive to withdraw from the earthly cravings. I desire to merge with your supreme being. Embrace this tool in your cradle. O omnipotent, hold me and forgive me for my arrogant insights. Let me merge into your luminous, unending, and ever glowing light. Let me read my second poem, which is A Dead Soul. Like a dead soul, I am hanging on my terrace with my tattered heart and withered state. Decayed roof is my identity. All my life has been lost in waiting. Waiting? Waiting for whom? You know, my heart throbs without any passion for no one. Struggling with darkness, I starve towards my end. Darkness is all over the house. I embrace only distress, sadness, denied to life. I crave stillness, but with no respite from this darkness, I moan, I groan. Gradually, I get afraid of smiling. Faces of unknown persons with a rotten spirit. I have seen all the seasons of this duration with the features of a zombie. Often I compare my senseless emotions. I act without any intentions. Oh, dear ones, still there is time to behold spiritual admission. Without veiling relation, we are accepting vicious pretension. Let the enlightenment for our soul transfuse virtuous humans. May the luminous spirit withdraw the darkness for a glaring dawn. Another romantic poem I am going to recite for all of you. That is My Soulmate. I think all of you believe in the word soulmate, and I do believe in the word soulmate. And I have got my soulmate also. That's why I have written this poem, na? My soulmate. Yes, he is there. With his silence, I feel his presence. In an utter darkness, like a glowing fire, he showed me light. Drowned in misery, I found myself in treachery. Then he grabbed me from the pool of sad memory. His voice echoed the magic. I just believe in his logic. I found a treasure. He has found a treasure that I was completely unaware of. Like an alchemist, he traced the golden glimmers, of course, in my dough cleanser that I missed for ages, which he found in a glimpse. My overtop emotions, I painted them with pleasure. He was there with patience, rendered me soulless. I rose with a new confidence. Then suddenly he vanished. He became a stranger. I don't care. As he made me realize I am the reason for my happiness. Now he dissolves in the thin air by instilling the desire to breathe and the passion to light up the dusky nights. Next, in your memory, it is the third poem. In pandemic, we have lost our dear ones. For their bereaved family, I am going to recite this poem. I have also lost my aunt in COVID. In utter, deep, melancholic pain, once upon a night, I have wept this poem. And I have not realized, like a spontaneous overflow, this poem just, I have written just this poem. And after I have written this poem, I just realized this is a huge poem, you see. Let me recite it. In your memory, people die, but in their traces, often they leave our memories with them. The days spent with some laughter, mingled with their yells, fused with their screams, in the formless world of forms we offer vainly seek their praises in the murmurs, in their saints, so lost, so faded into the cosmic world of trance. But do we unearth their praises? No, no, and a big no. Life is indispensable. Death is the biggest illusory. Still, death is also certain. But our fragile heart fails to admit it. It always chases its loved ones. Yet they depart us with a huge vacuum, leaving out from the deep passion in which we try to clutch them towards an infinite end. But at the verge of life, we have to accept one ultimate truth, that is cessation, silence, calmness, perpetual bliss, resignation, declination, and our memories lay deeply buried with the exit of their earthly bodies. Within the deepest pit of anguish, we deposit all our emotions inside. Often, in the darkest hour of nights, we release them with grieving for the departed souls, for our ever arguing spirits, to address, to accept the reality. Yet, we have to accept the decorum. Soul transmits from one core to another by leaving behind their incredible essence. Another poem. There is always a story behind my poem, and for this poem, there is also a story. An epitome of her dignity, her handbag. I think you all are wondering whose handbag it is, why Sudipta is saying like this. And the answer is, it's my mother's handbag. She is a single mother, and she has raised me so beautifully or ugly, I don't know. Let me recite my poem. an epitome of her dignity. From my infancy, I have seen her with a vanity bag. With her vanity, she carries her dignity. Like a treasure trove of pleasure, I always wonder and ponder. I envy her handbag for its consistency. I complain, oh ma, please carry your little one instead of this black doll bag. Every time she refuses. Ach, kids are not allowed to workplaces. My mother's handbag is just like the piggy bank from which you can satiate your greedy stomach. The storehouse of data lies in that handbag. Books, lesson notes, and pen are the most materials to be washed. This is the same bag that endured all seasons in its total bag. It is the same bag that enveloped lords of love in the form of candies and sweet bags. It is the same bag that is a tag bearer of my mother's rebellion against the societal setup. It is the same bag that liberates her from the shackles of disgrace and shame. It is the same bag that is still now enriched with lots of love in the form of gifts for her grandchildren. It is the same withered bag that still holds an unconditional love in my heart. Dance, a state of ecstasy. By the way, I am a classical dancer. In our Odisha, I am from Odisha, by the way. We have our classical dance. Most of us, we perform Odissi dance. There are so many dances like Gotipo dance, Mahari dance, Devadasi culture is here. And to give a tribute to my Odissi dancing culture, let me recite one of my poems. Dance. Dance is the graceful manifestation of Radha and Lord Krishna, a soulful synchronization of body and senses with a divine intervention. A dancer dwells with the compassion of nature and blossoms like a scarlet flower by shifting and making gorgeous positions. Dancers drag us into a realm of dream. It flows through the rhythm with a sense of freedom, like an articulation of love and wild passion. Dancers bridge the gap between ancient and modern, a spectacle of heavenly satisfaction. Dance is the vehicle of cultural transformation. Without dance, we cannot think of a glorious civilization. Next poem. An outcry of a caged soul. There is also a story behind this poem. I hope I am not making any type of boredom for you. The story is, I am also a fan of Maya Angelou ma'am. I have almost read all her poems. So this poem is dedicated to her. An outcry of a caged soul. You see, in this society, we always perceive women like commodities. From the ancient time also, from Ramayana, Mahabharata, which are our ancient scriptures. If we delve deep down into those poems, those scriptures, those epics, we can witness women who were tortured, like Draupadi, Sita. And my poem is dedicated to those goddesses. Yes, Draupadi and Sita are alive. It is too adverse to break the barriers to strive. Yes, they are breathing with us. Can't you realize their presence? They are living in the deep, dark silence, deeply buried in their born damages. Can't you acknowledge? With intense scars, they laugh. With pretense, with purple, blue, reddish, brown face of ignorance, they stand and mock at our hypocrisy. Can't you notice them? They are none other than the dead carcasses whom we have silently suppressed under the backward of our imperial houses. Still, they are satirically present. In the naked eyes of that molester, they suffer to gasp. Yet, they struggle to raise their voices with rage. They yearn for the least kindness, even though they are deprived of the righteousness. Can you glance at their years of trauma? Still, they are looted, pushed, and dragged into hell. Yet, they disguise their anguish behind a towering silky veil. Can't you see them? Next poem. My solitude. Often in my privacy, I feel and realize the glorious views. My solitude brings me closer to the. I entered into the realm of fantasy. I can trail my imagination. The thread of regions ends with you. My soul impels me into unforeseen creation. In my reason, I reckon and grow. Love is not an earthly possession. It always trails beyond mortal reasons. I desire to delve deeply into the life. Life is a journey towards an unknown future. Future is not seen by many. Many of us have lost interest in God. God's relevance is even questioned by thinkers. Thinkers often try to imprison our reason. Reasons may not be the victims of lost desires. Desires for material pleasure land us in pains. Pain in life affirms our faith in the supreme power. Let me recite one of my romantic poems, Our Love Story. Yes, I don't know where to start. I begin my day with the thought of your infinite presence, with a stunning scent. This is not an ordinary love story. It is your platonic memory. Your smile from a far land, but it becomes my priceless garland. I cry in your sadness. You feel the words of my silence. Nothing can bridge the gap between us, but you were mad to watch me from a distance. The milky sky is studded with starry hues of your presence, and you are the reason for my existence. This poem is a little bit philosophical. Life in pain. The dried without roses, symbolic to my essence. Once upon a time, I was blooming like them, but now the vicious cycle of life altered my name. Once a beautiful damsel in fame, now I crave for companions to fill my vacuum. In my solitude, I cry and scream. No one is there to listen to my melancholy. I am abandoned and lonely. The petals of my glorious days have deserted my essence. In a ruined state, I yearn to create a sublime story. I desire to sublimate to divine glory. This will be my eternal existence. Now, by living my past, I used to dance in an oblivious reverie. Maybe I would fail in this dreamy test. Let me tread on the untrodden path to create a history. But like the eternal fragrance of roses, everywhere I aim to scatter my undeterred muses. And this poem is dedicated to life, the beauty of life. Our life is packed with much pain. Unquenchable thirst for power is the sole cause of such disdain. Never. We strive to be a better human. By over-exploiting the delights of nature, we derive elation. Vainly we pass the golden days of summer and winter, awaiting for the spring's breeze, laden with the pleasures of nature, by forgetting the essence of our culture. Now we bear the wrath of nature. So let's spread on the path of our ancestors. As we, the winter's children, await to embrace the beauty and hope of spring. Still, there is time to wave the joy of spring in our barren lives. Let's imbibe the joy of heaven. Listen to nature's invitation. Let's glorify our days of irritation. Let's bask in the breast of spring's exotic risen. Amidst the meadow of nature's bosom, forget your all anticipation. Arch, we are the children of all seasons. Feel such a magical reunion. Grow up with new hopes and fun. Carry such celestial carnival to feel the divine emotion. Now, one more poem. It is completely dedicated to the gorgeous sky, the enticing sky. The sky invites me many times with its countless surprises. It paints the fancy in my dreams. Every time it incites a colorful frequency. The sky speaks in many colors. It's an illustration of supreme power. I often marvel at such vivacious wonder. Sometimes it is illuminated with blue, white, and purple colors. A live portrayal of nature. God has blessed us with such glorious features. The dappled sky shines throughout the night. Star-studded sky bewilders us with flickering lights. It is a cosmic celebration of astral units with the magical hues of rainbows. The sky never stops to exalt us. Let's feel the echoes of heavenly spirits. Next poem is a sweet betrayal. Often in deep agony, I retrospect and look within, and I deeply penetrate in my mirror, where I find a hollow picture, the sight of a lost glory, painted in dark grey, screaming about the treachery already craved in my memory. Again and again, it knocks me down. The purple scar reminds me of the monster in you. Is it easy to condone and move on? Misery floats in me like bright dew, too scary to reflect and recollect about the misery of my heartache, as if they would range me into distress. If I look back, only misery will haunt and change. My last poem. I hope I am not making a monotonous time for all of you. A letter to my love. To love thee more than myself is like suffering from a fatal disease. But I have taken this malignancy more than my rotten self. I choose to die in thy hands. Rather, I used to body in thy laps. I crave to live in thy eyes. Thou shalt believe it or not, I swear by my truth. It is the only dream that I have been living with. I beseech thou to soften your dry soul. By the grace of heaven, let me vow to do. Is not it wonderful to cherish our lost love? Let me unmax myself to repent and seek thine pardon. Ach, I was undone by the cruel monster of destiny. Now, forgive me and clasp my hands in thine. Last poem. I swear it is my last poem. The glorious nature. When sun glows and a new dawn approaches, when cuckoo mellows and a fresh poem is released, when rich strings of my soul signals, I begin to realize the song of the sea. I rest and bath in eternal spirit. I can't wait to believe the perpetual relation to everything with me. I am saying the last one, and I am reading one by one. Pardon me for my sin. The last poem is The Essence of Love. The sunrise touches the high tides by spreading the bright hues in the blue sea, and it urges me to believe that one day my love would dazzle in your eyes. My soul is nearer to you, just a call away, towards your reach. No matter, no excuses, just open your arms. I hope that someday I will be in thy arms. Finish. Let me conclude my session with a holy chant. Joy Jagannath. May God bless you all. Thank you.